Why, hello there, everybody. How you doing today? It's me again. I want to talk again about title. And why is man so concerned with title or titles? Or, another word, labels. Well, there's three ways to get a title, as I said before. The first way is to take it. The second way is to either have it forced on you or force it on someone else. And the third way is to accept it. And you have a say in all three. So says Almighty God. But let's look at a reason as to why exactly. Why exactly is man so enamored and focused on titles or labels? Well, we're going to get into more of that in the next videos. But the very simple reason why man is so enabled with title is because what man perceives title to meaning, as well as having authority. And what man wants the ability to do is to escape or avoid their own accountability or accountability, period, and be able to himself hold others accountable. And they do all of this based solely on the title that they have either taken, forced on someone, or have been forced on, as well as accepted. So, again, man feels that title means and represents authority, when all a title is a title. So just to give you some examples of what I'm talking about. The way that people grab titles or perceive labels and how they relate it to being authority is, in the entertainment world, they call themselves superstars or celebrities. And by calling themselves a celebrity, they feel that they are better than everyone else, and that everyone else that is not as popular as us, as me, the person that's calling themselves a celebrity, is beneath them. Then in the political realm, they take these titles that have presumed they take titles that represent authority, such as congressman, senator, president, mayor, city council member, so on and so forth. You get the idea. And while the title represents authority, the only way to get true authority is through accepting and being held accountable for what you do with that authority. Because remember, authority always follows accountability. So anyone that's grabbing these titles without accepting the accountability is because they're grabbing them to avoid the accountability that comes from it. And they just want all the presumed, or what they're perceiving as, authority that comes from the title. Now, we see this in the religious or in the church realm the same way. They say, well, hey, I'm a pastor, you have to listen to what I say. I am a deacon, you have to listen to what I say. And I'm more holier than you because of look at all the things that I have. And I am better off than you. I am more knowledgeable than you because I can quote all of these scriptures, when that's got nothing to do with nothing. So we see it everywhere. We see it in the secular world, whether it be athletics, celebrities, and they grab these titles and say, hey, we got all this power, and I am better than you, all in an attempt to steal authority and avoid accountability. But there's still another way that the title works. Remember, the second way is to have it placed or forced on you. And the way that the superstar, the way that all of these fake authorities do is they say, hey, because I have this title, I now deem you inferior. So because I am a celebrity, I can tell you that I am right and you are wrong. Thereby, you are a nobody and I am a somebody. And I can dictate and deem to you what you can and cannot do. Same thing, same exact thing in the political realm. The person with the title who's trying to avoid accountability and only wants all the authority that comes with the title says, hey, because I'm a senator, you have to listen to what I say because I am a senator. I am a congressman. That makes me better than you. And you, I don't serve you. I rule over you. In the same way, in the spiritual realm, in the religious or in the church realm, it operates the same way. I know more. I am the pastor. I am the deacon. I am the elder. Therefore, you have to do what I tell you to do. And if you don't, then guess what? I'm going to give you your own title, such as reprobate, heathen, because you won't do what I tell you to do. So that's why they grab these titles. But here's the truth of the matter. It doesn't matter what your title is, because this is what we all are. We are all individuals. And what Almighty God has done is He has chosen to use His authority, Almighty God's authority, and give each and every individual the individual authority to operate in their own individual jurisdiction or individual life, however they see fit. No one can override the individual's authority to operate within the own individual's jurisdiction. No one, not even Almighty God. So says Almighty God. Because of this fact, every individual will be held accountable by Almighty God for how every individual has acted, done within their own jurisdiction and or life, as well as how every individual has conducted themselves, as well as affected others' jurisdiction. Because all authority comes from and exists because of Almighty God's authority, and because Almighty God's jurisdiction encompasses everyone else's jurisdiction, because Almighty God is everywhere, Almighty God himself has chosen to hold himself accountable to the very same law that Almighty God is going to hold every single one of us accountable to. In other words, what goes for us goes for him. And that is the reason why every individual will be, as well as can be, held accountable by Almighty God for how the individual has acted in their own jurisdiction or in their own life, as well as how the individual has acted outside or in other people's jurisdiction, or how they have affected other people's jurisdiction and or other people's life. Because Almighty God is holding himself to the very same standard that he's holding you to. Each and every one of us as an individual. Which, of course, is why man seeks to take these titles and or labels simply to avoid accountability. Now, in our next video, I will explain exactly who it is that seeks after titles.